From East Point to Buckhead, College Park to Bankhead. Dopest sports talk show on the radio. You heard what I said. Maceo and EGlaze. Highlights and big plays from the East Coast to the West Coast. From Oregon to Georgia State. Touchdowns and home runs. Slam dunks and long runs. Athletes and sports junkies. If you got the knowledge, come get you some. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Sound mad, get your team lost. Jerry Jones, cause I'm the ball. Call in, let me hear your thoughts. Crush, Jack. Yeah.
It's Wednesday. You getting better at that at 8 o'clock. You getting better at that. I'm getting there, boy. It took a while. Well, I'm getting there. You listen to the Douglas Sports Show on radio. It's the Crush. You know it right here on Sensation Station Network. And I'm your humble co-host, EGlaze.
One of us has to be humble.
And sitting in, as always, with that Fly Mark Brown sweatshirt. Like that, bro?
Ah, yeah, man. You know, man.
Yeah, represent the school.
We 1 week from homecoming, man.
It's
Doug High homecoming this week, and it's Morris Brown homecoming this week, man. So I got to get it in.
How you say homecoming?
No doubt.
Yeah, man. It's about that time. Which brings us to our Wednesday show, man.
Yes, sir.
Recruiting 101, man.
Recruiting 101, the process.
The process. Shout out to our lady who's usually here with us.
Our other humble co-host.
She's had to take care of a little personal thing.
She had family business. She had to tend to. Wendy Golston. We miss you, Wendy.
You live about 3 laptops up here with a bunch of
a lot of computers. The note's not as neat tonight.
No, it's not as neat.
It's not as neat tonight. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna make it work.
Yeah, but we got it going, man. We got it back today. We got a lot to go through today, man. We got a great interview lined up in the 9 o'clock hour for you guys. Coach Kyle Hockman from McEachern High School will be joining us today.
Talk about them Indians.
And we talk about that college campus that they got over there.
Those facilities. They have facilities out there.
We definitely gonna talk about this. Make sure what other topics you got lined up for us.
Man, we gonna talk about satellite camps. They've changed the process. The satellite camps.
Yep.
We're gonna talk. It's decommitment season, and the NCAA has a plan they're trying to come up with where they want to do two early signing days before actual national signing day. So we're gonna talk about that. Man, we're gonna talk about the Sun Belt Conference, man. We're gonna talk about parents and coaches' roles. Young lady, Amy Rassman, who was the Olympian.
Yeah.
She talked about the role that her parents played and talked about how coaches should coach and parents should support. So we're gonna kind of get into that a little bit, man.
We're gonna get that top 5. We're gonna finish that day, man.
We may. Because I mean, some of these topics are so good that, you know, we gotta elaborate on them.
We make them elaborate. What number can they call us at?
Hey, man, they can call the show tonight, man. It's 678-613-5857.
Hey, man, I know it ain't I just gotta mention it, man. One of my favorite character actors of all time passed today. Mr. Tommy Ford.
You ain't got no job.
Yeah, he told us what GTD means. Boy, we understood that on Martin. He also was in New York Undercover, Harlem Nights. Had one of the most infectious laughs out there, man.
Man, peace out to Tommy, man.
Rest in peace at the age of 52.
Man.
Mr. Tommy Ford.
A regular around the ATL, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody posting photos of Tommy around town, man.
This intro is brought to you by the Cobb Football League, providing a high school feeder youth football and cheer program for kids in K through 5th grade in Cobb County, Paulding County, Marietta City, and Roswell City Schools. Go to cobbfootball.com for more information. When we come back, hot topics is on deck. Stay with us. It's the Crush.
Under a lot of pressure, you know, and you put us there. Nothing's riding on this except the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of the press, and maybe the future of the country. Not that any of that matters.
Exercise your right to vote.
Exercise your right to vote.
Exercise your right to vote.
Hey, what's up? This is Dr. Pamela with the Live Exchange, and I just wanted to remind you to exercise your right to vote on November 8th. Go to sos.ga.gov to find out if you're registered and to find the nearest polling place.
Get it done.
Coming to Tampa Bay, I said we want to win a Super Bowl, and I believe we will.
From IamSecond.com.
We came close, but never really did win that championship.
former NFL head coach Tony Dungy.
At the end of my 6th year, I was fired, and it was one of the biggest disappointments of my life. Next year, I'm in Indianapolis, get to the playoffs, but get knocked out again. And for the next couple of years, it's the same thing. Everyone is saying Colts are never going to win one. And I did wonder, why didn't it pan out the way I thought it would? But I determined that I had to have Christ first, and that everything else came below that, including my own desires. The next year, that ended up being our year to go to the Super Bowl and win it, and it was a wonderful feeling. Every decision I make, I'm going to make it through the lens of Jesus Christ, and He'd guide us to that ultimate victory. I'm Tony Dungy, and I am second.
Uncle Dan? Mom? Dad? If you store your guns properly, so not just anyone can get to them, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
Safer when my friends come over. As your neighbor, I'll feel safer.
As a school teacher, I'll feel safer.
We'll all feel safer.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. If you own a gun, you have a full-time responsibility. When you aren't using it, be sure it can't get into the hands of curious children, troubled teenagers, a thief, or anyone else who might misuse it. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org. This message brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the Bureau of Justice Assistance, and the Ad Council.
This is what legends are made of. This is what legends are made of.
As long as I see that fire in your eyes, I know we still good.
I do it off of that love.
We built this family, and this family's strong.
Empire on Fox. Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to save. Station Network. Radio, not dumb down.
Moving on, our topic is going to you by Dr. Kevin Dance. If your smile is becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Dr. Kevin Dance has been practicing dentistry 15 years in beautiful Southwest Atlanta. His office is located at 3752 Cascade Road, Suite 190. Complete family dentistry with everything you need in one office. Call and make an appointment at 678-836-2118. That's 678-836-2118. What's the hot topic for today, Maceo?
Hey, man, so satellite camps.
Okay.
They were in each state. Coaches got to come in and see these kids perform in all these different areas. Now the NCAA is saying that all satellite camps have to be held on college campuses. So instead of them bringing the work to the kids have to go to said college and get their work. So we won't see Jim Harbaugh hanging in Atlanta. We won't see a lot of these other coaches around town getting to see all the talent in one place.
So this is the Nick Saban effect, pretty much?
This is the Nick Saban effect. This is almost like the peace offering.
Right.
Like this is okay. So this is what we're gonna do.
So you can still have. So Harbaugh can only do satellite camps at his college?
He can only do it at the University of Michigan and at the school or their practice facility.
Interesting. Wow. So what? I don't know if you know this, but how do kids get to these camps?
Now it's almost like the regular junior senior days that they have at these camps. But now instead of the camp, because again, understand that all kids can't travel.
Exactly.
So again, you're putting another strain on the parents, the guardians, to get kids to said school.
So this basically takes away Harbaugh and all of them coming down to the South.
It takes away the free travel, because what it allowed a Michigan and Ohio State to come in areas they usually don't come to recruit kids.
Right.
And like say he came down here last year and he probably nabbed 2 recruits.
Exactly.
And that's a win for him.
And the first person that started complaining was Nick Saban.
Yeah, because you in my backyard.
You can't come in my backyard.
You're in my backyard.
I don't know. I never heard about satellite camps until recently.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a real. I guess I'm just now understanding it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm from it still doesn't. I guess it helps the SEC more than the ACC more than anybody else because a lot of the talent is down south, down here in Florida,
Right.
Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and if schools up north can't come down here and get them, I mean, you just got to go back to your old school recruiting. So I guess it gives. Let me ask you this: is it a disadvantage now? I mean, because it basically is sending it back to where it used to be.
It's a disadvantage because what the satellite camp provided, the big school is hosting.
Right.
But so many other colleges were coming in.
Right.
Because this is their one chance to get 200, 300 kids in one area, every position.
So everybody.
And so they could benefit. So actually it's almost lose-lose. Because you had your MAC schools, your 1AA, some of your HBCUs who could come out to these camps and see kids they don't usually see. Because most schools outside of the Power 5 don't really have the big recruiting budget to get out to see kids. So this is your chance to see kids in T-shirt and shorts, see them in running drills, being in activity.
So basically, let's say Georgia have one though. But can you go from another school and go to that satellite camp if they have it at their school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
So basically, schools will have to, which would be kind of funny.
But and see, there you have it.
Yeah.
Why would Kirby Smart
let you come down to my school
right.
and visit these kids?
Right. Well, I will invite the smaller schools.
Right.
I'm not going to invite my competition.
Harbaugh ain't coming down here no more unless y'all just friends and you do it. That's gonna be interesting to see, man. See how these coaches position this because it is important. I guess it was another advantage for some schools like a Michigan to come down. It was needed because he toured the country.
Yeah.
Doing these satellites.
Yeah.
So now he's losing that. So now he's got to start creating relationships.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And ain't too many people like Harbaugh anyway.
Right. The one thing that a school like Michigan, most of your power schools, the one advantage they do have, they pretty much can handpick the kids that they want.
Exactly.
But again, this is satellite camps provide you an opportunity to find that diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
A kid who don't nobody really know about, who kind of under the radar. So I can come see this kid, and I can kind of maybe, I can recruit him, I can kind of tuck him away before he becomes a big deal. I get eyes on him first.
Yeah, and I think still, if you're smart, a lot of these kids, they're probably gonna film a lot of these camps.
Yeah,
and you probably can use your satellite information and send it up there anyway. I just think it was Mr. Saban steps in again because he was the first one to say, "Hey."
The funny part about Nick Saban making those comments last year, a lot of these kids, Nick Saban, you not recruit.
No.
You not recruit. A school like Alabama, they recruit you.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Well, really, no, you recruit them.
Actually, like
they get their fair pick of kids.
Yeah. This might be one of them things where he looking more 3 or 4 years down the road. Let's say Michigan gets a little bigger, and they keep doing this. They may affect one of them players that he likes.
Yeah, but
Nick always 4 or 5 years ahead.
But he's still gonna get that guy. He always gets that guy.
Yeah, I wonder what is this? Maybe it just be him doing.
I mean. Hey man,
it's gonna be interesting though. But like you say, you won't see many schools up north jumping down here because if you got to be invited to my school, I think it still will help some schools.
Wait around for the invite because it's not coming.
No, it's not coming.
No, it's not coming. No. Why am I gonna invite you?
Yeah,
I may play you in a bowl game.
Clark, yeah, you good. Yeah, you good. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Michigan, nah.
But again, this is just the funny part about it. The kids who are on the fence who really need I can't make the trip to Michigan, but I do have a chance to perform in front of Jim Harbaugh, and he might I may fit his system.
Right. It will do that. Hopefully these kids who can use the satellites can get some up there and maybe get the film up to them. But you're right. If Jim ain't seeing you in person, it ain't nothing like seeing somebody in person.
You got to see him in person, and that's the good part about the junior days and senior days, sophomore and junior days on these colleges. They can see you. You can work. They can work. Their coaches can work with you, so they can be like, "Nah, he don't fit our system. Nah, we good on him."
I mean, when we come back, man, we're gonna jump into another topic. What's coming up next, Mace?
Hey, man, should they have media training for athletes in high school?
That's a very good question.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Marie Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken and a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to savor.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda, that's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I am an American soldier. I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined.
Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
Adopt US Kids presents multiple choice parenting.
You've accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man!
No, sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You know you're listening to the dopest show on the airwaves, right?
You're my boy!
It's the Crush.
SSNATL.com.
Thank you, sir.
And we're back, man. About to jump into a topic that I'm very interested in, and I think it's a very big thing. So, Maceo, line it up for us, man. Hey, man, so with a lot of the media coverage and everything these kids are getting now, there's a camera everywhere. Mm-hmm. Should high schools offer media training for all athletes? What's your take on this, Glaze? I heard it today, man. It was funny. I was listening to another show, and a particular athlete that went to the pros said that when a particular athlete say something that they've been going through things in high school, and I disagree with them because I don't think it's out there enough. I think kids are getting better at it, but with so much coverage and so much, I think it needs to be a necessity, because when you get these kids out here, and if you turn on ESPN, Fox Sports, you're seeing high school sports all over the place. Right. West Coast, East Coast, wherever you're going, you're seeing it. So to stick a microphone in these kids' faces and then just expect them to be totally sound like they professionals, it's unfair to the kids. Man. Right. And what kind of brought this to light Friday while I'm watching, the high school report. Mm-hmm. So it's after the game. Kids hyped about winning. Mm-hmm. Then here goes the young lady. She puts the microphone. She has two players that she pulls up. Mm-hmm. Puts the microphone in the kid's face, and again, deer in headlight look. I think I know which one you're talking about. The star kid. I mean, he's going to get talked to a lot. Yeah. Why not have this young man prepared? Because again, everybody's watching. Yeah. This is being, again, everything's being Snapchat, everything's being retweeted, and this is like a live feed, and it's going to be played continuously. So why not have these kids prepared to handle a Q&A session with the media? And if it's nothing more, then coaches should take a few minutes to require them and talk to them about it and put cameras in the front. I think one of the things that we do that I kind of like is we will bring high school kids in here and give them a chance to talk.
and allow them to sit here and you can tell sometimes you would think kids that we bring in, you'd be like, man, this kid is a such athlete. When they get in mic for the first time, they kind of like, you had to pull it out of them a little bit. So I think it should be. I think you got to, especially with a program that's got a
very high profile.
Yeah, very high profile.
The school that they were at Friday night.
Yeah.
Very high profile program.
Exactly.
And one of these kids, I think, actually is going to be an Under Armour All-American.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's always going to be a camera or microphone in this kid's face. Christopher Estes chimed in and said they do offer media classes. It's called English.
Now, Chris, the written English versus the talking. Getting in front of this mic sometime, Chris, it can drive him crazy, man. But I think that should be that, because I know one in my school, my daughter's class, they have a thing called mass communication or media or something like that. And I think it should be something, because I ain't gonna lie. You look at him, oh, he's just 16, but when sometimes they talk, you cringe a little bit, like, oh, Lord.
And I think sometimes too, certain kids, like, just as a coach, you kind of know who to put in front of the camera, who not, you know. So I mean, as a high school coach, sometimes you have to protect some of those kids from that, and then at the same time, pull them to the side and be like, now look, now you're the kind of athlete that's gonna probably get interviewed a lot, so we need to work on this. So I do think schools need to probably put something like this in place.
I think my pettiness is about to come out. Some of these coaches need some media training too. I've heard some of y'all coaches jump in front of that mic, and I'm like, boy, how you expect the player to sound good if the coaches tell them?
I used to always like wonder, like Coach Thompson would take me to media day.
Yeah.
And I would always be like, why is he taking me? Like, I don't want to go talk to him. Like, one year we were on the ride. He's like, son, I mean, you the only person I can trust who's not going to say nothing crazy, because your mom and dad are crazy. So you're not going to embarrass me. So, I mean, I think it's that.
I seen some of our players, boy. He picked some right people, because some cat he couldn't take.
Nah, you can't take him. Nah, you can't take him.
He might be a great player, coach, but it might be a media disaster when he finishes. I think it's something that you do, and it helps if they get it early, because when they get to college, they can get used to it, because it's gonna give them bigger light. There are so many outlets now, and I wish the kids would work instead of them getting on their Facebook posts and all that.
Yeah.
Instead of them talking about, shout out to 222, my shawty out there and all that, and actually practice talking like they're trying to get their message out there. Because another thing that they don't understand, all these posts that they do, coaches are looking at that too.
They're watching every. I mean, they have the Power 5 schools, the bigger schools.
Yeah.
They have a staff that monitors social media all day, and the kids are losing scholarships.
Yeah.
And, they losing offers.
And you think about everything is Snapchatting. You got Insta chat. Everything is where you're chatting now, more live speaking. So you would hope that they would take these opportunities to come across where everybody can be happy to hear them, and not saying, "Lord, who child is that?"
And you know what I think kids don't do a lot of now. Now I used to do it. I shouldn't be telling y'all a lot of this stuff, but like, so we had my dad. You know, everybody had a microphone around the house.
Yeah, man.
I would interview myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I would sit there and be like, ask myself questions, and I answer the questions.
Yeah.
Be in the mirror, like, so Maceo, what you think about, or I would come in like after, Little League game, it wasn't nobody to talk to me. I talked to myself. I mean, it probably explained a lot about me.
Could you imagine if you had back then a Snap or Instagram and all that, Snapchat?
I would have been terrible with social media. Like, no. As a man, no. I'm so glad that stuff. 2000.
I'm glad it's 30 years after we played.
Oh yeah, especially like Freaknik.
Oh my God.
Imagine Facebook with Freaknik. None of us had jobs.
They'd have shut the city down for real.
None of us had no jobs.
We'll be right back.
This is Tracy Hutchins with CBS 46 News. You're listening to The Crush on Sensation Station Network.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Is your client working with anyone on the TV side?
My client's interested in anything that pays money. He's out right now. You should work with him. Man, speaking as your manager,
Just because you dress like a sixth grader don't make you my manager, man.
Atlanta, all new Tuesday at 10 on FX and FX Now.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda, that's $10,012. Please drive around.
10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Is your client working with anyone on the TV side?
My client's interested in anything that pays money. He's hot right now. You should work with him. Man, speaking as your manager,
Just because you dress like a sixth grader don't make you my manager, man.
Atlanta, all new Tuesday at 10 on FX and FX Now.
I hate religion. Pretty shocking to hear coming from a pastor, huh? I'm Jasper. This is my wife, Alicia Williams. We would absolutely love to have you come and take a visit.
At the church, we're strictly about relationships. It's about deepening your walk with God. 4845 South Old Peachtree Road, Norcross, Georgia.
Or you can hit us online at www.thechurchinfo.org. Remember, at the church, it's about relationship, not religion.
This is Bobby Yoller from the Ohio State. I'm kicking with the Crush on Sensation Station Network.
Hey, we're back. Is X gonna give it to you right here, brother? One of my favorite X cuts right there.
Yeah, he cute.
That was hype right there, man. So recruiting 101, man. The process, man. We're moving on to Glaze. It's decommitment season. Yeah, commitment season. They had decommitment season. Should we stop broadcasting the schools these kids are committed to until National Signing Day?
I think so. I think I'm a little old school, and now I'm seeing all these kids coming out. Like you said, we've seen the cars come out. They shine, and they tell me what school they're going to. And then when they decommit or they do something else, I think I don't like all the exposure to these kids, because I'm still I think at the high school level you still need to quit trying to push them to be grown too soon, I guess. I just think until it's National Signing Day, I don't want to hear from them. But unfortunately, Maceo, we're in a time where a lot of money is being made off these commitments. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people making money off. He going here, he going there, and that makes this school have the top resigning class or recruiting class.
Right.
I don't like it. I would rather just wait the National, recruiting day. That's what used to be special. But there's so much pressure now to tell these kids to sign early or to tell them where to go that you kind of trying to force their hand a little bit. So that's my opinion on that.
It's so many stories. Like right now, Najee Davis, he's a top running back for 2017. Committed to Alabama. He committed to Alabama 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Now word coming out of his camp is he's not that solid on Alabama. He say he wants to thinking about opening up his recruiting and he wants to take more trips.
And, well, did you see who they got at running back? So that kind of that matters.
And what we talk about the process, you have to, as a parent and as the player, you really need to study the rosters. You need to look at the class that a lot of these kids in. If you're a freshman coming in, they got a freshman, sophomore, they got a freshman star. Like if you're a quarterback right now, and you looking to go to Alabama, Hurts is going to be there at least 2 more years.
And that makes sense what you're saying, because think about it, man. What happens at the beginning of a season and when you sign until National Signing Day is a lifetime of stuff. Like you look at the University of Georgia, you're a running back. You realize they got 2 juniors and 2 freshmen that are already playing right now. And they're going to be good.
Yeah.
So if I done committed, I'm looking like, well, Georgia might not be the best place if I'm thinking about playing in the next couple of years. If you like you were talking about, what if they fire a coach like Les Miles?
Right.
And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, where we were talking about a lot of kids go to the school because of the coaches. Now I got to think commit to this. Now Les ain't there. What am I going to do? Am I an LSU guy or am I a Les Miles guy? I just think when we put so much pressure on the kids at that signing early, and then when they decommit, they getting vilified now by these Twitter gangsters.
Keyboard gangsters in their mama basement.
You know how many kids get texts or tweets talking about you weren't good for us, no way, you suck. I just think it's a little too much going on right now to have them recruiting. So I like it going through national, because at National Signing Day you pretty much committed.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing, when you're a hot kid with a lot of offers, like really and truly, you don't have to commit early.
Right.
You really don't.
No.
You know, we think we had one in here.
Yeah.
Who was solid to Alabama.
Just knew he was going.
National Signing Day, he signs with Georgia.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, it's no need to commit. Like I said, I think Nigel Warrior did it the right way.
Yeah.
You know, everybody kind of figured, you know, Tennessee is the school, but he never let on that it was Tennessee. He took all his visits, and then he enjoyed the process. But he also, parents, he was qualified first and foremost. He got qualified, so he was able to enjoy his time. Like, it's no rush to commit.
What's the rush? I mean,
you're 17. You gonna change your mind? You change girlfriends every 2 months.
Unless you just fully committed to one school, but enjoy it, because I can tell you right now, you know, following Nigel, he enjoyed his senior year of high school. He was comfortable. He went prominent. He did everything.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have that pressure. And then with National Signing Day, he had all the cameras. He had his fun with it, and he enjoyed. Like I said, everybody knew pretty much it was Tennessee, but he took his time.
Took his time.
And schools couldn't stop him, because now, you know, schools get petted too. If you commit to them,
right? They don't want you taking any more trips.
Right. Then you take another trip, they get mad,
and it's a subject that we're going to talk about later. That this is the reason all of the decommitments is the reason the NCAA is trying to come up with a rule that they're going to enact next year. So that's going to make it all right. Just like right now, a 3-star Florida running back, he decommitted from Michigan. He wants to open back up the process, and you have to understand this about these kids. Every trip you take, they're going to get better and better. You're going to see something that you like at Auburn. And then next week when you go to Florida, it's something else you're going to like.
Yeah, cause I guarantee you.
And you're going to change your mind again.
What's that kid at Roswell?
Sheldon Evans.
Last year, junior, he wasn't getting all the big-time looks, but as Roswell is getting better, I guarantee you people are looking at him a little differently now.
His looks are getting better.
Because of the fact, because he's that stud on that squad.
Right.
Last year, if he'd committed to some school, and he would have waited. Now he's got an opportunity. I'm guaranteed those recruiting options are opening up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey, I like this topic because I am about protecting the kid, and since y'all Twitter gangsters done got involved and all that stuff. So, man, when we come back, man, we're gonna keep on this topic. Make sure you got we got a little bit more on this topic. Okay, we're gonna stay with it. So stay with us, Mr. Chris.
Tell me something. With all this money coming in from both sides, how could anything possibly ever get done?
It doesn't. That's the genius of the system.
Exercise your right to vote.
Exercise your right to vote.
Exercise your right to vote.
It's the Blonde Bombshell Blondie Lockhart of the Happy Hour. Make sure that you exercise your right to vote.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
What's up, sis?
Nothing. Just sitting here reading about HIV in Atlanta and its surrounding areas. Did you know we're number 8 in the nation?
I know.
You need to get tested.
Nah, I don't get down like that. I'm good.
But you are a ladies' man. You don't know who they're with when they're not with you.
If I need to get tested, so do you.
No, I don't. I'm married.
True, but you don't know who he's with when he's not with you.
Oh, you got jokes. He's not like that.
Fact is, no one really knows what their partner is doing or who their partner is with when they're away.
Well, I'll get tested if you get tested.
Cool. Where can we go?
This article I'm reading says the Lifeline Project of CSB does free HIV testing. Let's go there.
Lifeline Project, here we come.
The Lifeline Project is a SAMHSA grant. For more information on free testing, please call 770-499-2422 or visit us on the web at www.cobcsb.com.
When I grow up, I want to be a new pair of blue jeans. When I grow up, I want to be a kid's first computer. I want to be a warm place on a cold day. Football stadium. I want to be a bike that races around the country. I want to be a bench on a forest trail. When I grow up, I don't want to be a piece of garbage. And if you recycle me, I won't be.
Give your garbage another life. Recycle. Learn how at iwanttoberecycled.org. Brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
Yes, sir. We're back. And we staying with this decommitment season. And the thing, Glaze, recruiting, it's like somebody just created recruiting. Yeah. Recruiting service, and it came out of nowhere, and it blew up, and now it's top stories every day. Yeah, you have this kid who commit, then 2 months later he decommits, and like I say, that's why they call this decommitment season. Yeah, you know, UGA just lost a kid. I had his name. He was a 4-star corner, Brini Backs. With last name is Brini. He was solid. Yeah. Dog night, all that. Now all of a sudden he's opening back up his recruit. Yeah. And the thing you have to keep asking yourself with the kid, well, what changed? Yeah. And what changed?
And like you're saying, man, it's again, I go back to the coach, man. I mean, to the kid, you think about it. If they recruit, they commit, they put all this stuff out, and they verbally commit. Now, verbal commitment used to be like, well, he still could change his mind. Verbal commitment, they act like you have to. That's solid now, but and kids might change their mind. They might be looking at Georgia scheme, or they might have got some. And you know how coaches from other schools like, man, you don't want to go to Georgia, man. We putting up the numbers over here. Kirby don't know what he doing. Blah blah blah. And if you don't commit, you wait. Yeah. You got time to explore all of that. Yeah. You get to have the 5 hats out there on National Signing Day or whatever. Yeah. Do it at your time.
And like I said, now, you know, it's only a select group of kids who really get to enjoy this. Yeah. You know, so again, like if you know where you're going, yeah, in your mind, you guys thought it all out. You gone through the process, the steps and everything. Yeah. Just take your trips. Yeah. Take all 5 of your trips. I guarantee you, if you're truly that guy, yeah, they will have a scholarship for you. Yeah. February, the first Tuesday of February. I promise you, they will have a scholarship for you. Exactly.
And I just like I say, man, just to avoid the stress of yourself. I know some kids like to do it and get it over with. Kind of like the kid we have, the linebacker at Westlake that we've had on.
Yeah, Jaden Hunter.
He's already committed to Georgia. I think that's a firm commitment because when you got a lineage like his, I don't expect him to go nowhere. But then you don't want to be caught like our kid, the receiver from McEachern last year,
Tyler Simmons.
Where he had to make a decision on signing day week change. And I'm sure it was tough because he was crying at the thing, he had all that, and I'm sure he got some nasty looks from some people from Alabama.
Yep. But see, people have to understand this first and foremost. Until National Signing Day, recruiting never stops.
Exactly.
It never stops. Schools are still recruiting, and you should still be recruiting because understand this. I mean, we've seen so many stories where schools change their mind. They like, you know what? Nah, we don't want him.
And see, that's the stuff that gets me upset because people don't be knowing that schools take scholarship from kids too.
Right. It's everybody. Your scholarship is 1 year renewable. Yeah. But you have to go in and get evaluated every year.
And people don't know. A school will be like, I got 1 scholarship left. What you gonna do? Coach, I still want. And they don't blow that up. Alabama just took a scholarship from this kid because he didn't make up his mind. But as soon as a kid decommit, it's all over the paper, it's all over the news, it's all over social media. I just think I want the kids to enjoy this process. You don't get this process for once.
I only get to be a kid one time.
So don't be in a hurry, man. Everybody's gonna tell you. I mean, and not to take shots at anybody, but with all these services thing, they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, you might want to get your school now." Blah blah blah. Only thing you need to do is get your scores in, your test scores in, your grades, and your film. Once you do all that, and the clearinghouse is good with you, you're good.
You're good.
So, fine word. We come back, man. We about to jump into this rundown. You know, Maceo got something for us. So
yes, sir.
Stay with us, Sister Crush.
Yep.
This is Judge Hatchet, and you're listening to The Crush on SSNATL.com.
JBT 700 Miami Circle 30324. It's not a chain, it's a chain reaction.
Invest $49 a month at a real gym.
For more info, go to facebook.com/Jeans Body Tech.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience, an ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
I am an American soldier.
I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place the nation first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined. Physically and mentally tough.
Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
So what you and I have got to do is get involved. You and I have to be right there breathing down their throat. Every time they look over their shoulder, we want them to see us.
Hey y'all, this is Erica Gray. Exercise your right to vote.
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 This is Leah. Y'all already know to go out there and exercise your right to vote. So go ahead and get out and vote.
This is big business. This is the American way.
Station Network.
See ya.
Hey man, we back, man. What we got, Maceo?
Hey man, this one here. Definitely want to hear your take on this one, man. Are parents worried more about athletics than academics?
I honestly, unfortunately believe it's 60-40 athletics.
60-40 athletics.
Because once you got an athlete who can do some things, you tend to focus on making sure that they can do those things well.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say the right things and like, man, you need to get them books, blah, blah, blah. But if your kid is playing on Friday nights, and he's good, you're going to tend to want to make sure he get everything he can to make sure. That's a good question. I still think it's 60-40. I think it more we're getting there. Let me ask this. Is it a regional thing? Not regional, I mean, but like an ITP, OTP? Is it more there?
So I think it changed.
Okay.
I think it changed because, like, again, our era.
Right.
If you were a good athlete, they were gonna take care of everything else.
Yeah.
They truly were. Today's time, like, no pass, no play is so real now.
Yeah.
As a parent, like, again, your child can be, 4.25, 40. He can 42-inch vertical and all that stuff. If he can't pass that test, if his grades are suspect, he's not gonna make it. He will have to get a job.
Yeah.
Or he got to take the long route. And the thing, are you willing? Are parents patient enough to take the long route?
Yeah.
To get to where you're going, as opposed to, as a parent, you have to stress the academic part of it.
Yeah.
And you have to make that a priority. I just, like, Gwen and Maceo, no matter what I was doing, now, if I brought some suspect grades to the house, bruh, it was a wrap. And I knew that.
Yeah, and I didn't play my senior year basketball because of that, too, because my grades were bad. But it's, I don't know, Mace, because I still hear stories about kids. Wendy wouldn't be as busy as she is. Wendy wouldn't be if the kids were making 3.0s and doing what they're supposed to do. But I guarantee you her job, she's sweating because trying to get kids to get them 2.3s. Think about it, man. We have to still emphasize you got to get a 2.3.
But why?
That's why I'm saying it's 60-40. I wish it was more of like Wendy's like, hey man, my kids come in, they all knocking out 3.0s, you know. But she still got some cats that she's trying to push through some. Man, you got a 2 point. You better go to summer school. I don't know, man. I always think sometimes, you know, I know I like hearing the kids that are 3 point. They don't have to worry about it, but you know, I ain't that far removed from coaching. And I remember those grades and them progress reports that come in about mid-season. I'm like,
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, 'cause to me, and again, I think if the parent, if we really put more emphasis on that academic part, we wouldn't have the problems. I mean, because it's almost like when it gets to recruiting time, and a parent is asking you, well, why my son not X, Y, Z? And the first thing I'm saying is like, have you seen your son grades? Like, nobody wants because of his grades. Like, how don't you know that as a parent?
I always ask this, and to as part of this question, is the PTA meetings as full as Friday nights?
No, we've already got our answer to that.
I mean, if it's
clearly they not,
and you don't see the parents having the same vigor or attention as they are. Friday nights games are packed, everybody watching,
sold out.
Yeah, but and then you'll get even the news coverage is he's an athlete of the week, and it's like a 5-second video.
Yeah.
But the student athletic person of the week, he got touchdown club of Atlanta. He's getting all that. So I still think athletics are still more prominent. If you got a kid that's an athlete, I think it helps. I think kids are getting smarter to say, and parents are getting through it, because if you take care of your academics and you're a great athlete, your choices are plentiful as far as where you can go, and you don't have to be pigeonholed until, hey man, you can only go to these schools because you might have to sit out of here and all that. So unfortunately, I still think I say 60-40. Might be the curve might be either way, but that's a good question, man.
That and sadly, you're probably right. I actually think it's more 70-30. Where people are still so focused on the field.
Yeah.
And again, we had these situations coming up the senior year where it's like we're scrambling.
Yeah.
To get it, and because the thing, understand is, your senior year you can't make up no grades. You're done.
Yeah.
And again, if it means so much to you, why not go on and get them grades? Who want to be worried about that?
Man, that should be the last thing you're worried about.
Who wants to be? Nothing like seeing the kid who has it all together, who breezes through this recruiting process.
Like I said, man, I don't see too many. It depends on the program. Like, high school might be different, but I don't see too many coaches get fired for a team that's 0-10, but they got 100%. Everybody 3.0s on the class. They get fired for being 0-10, man. So I wish it was the other way around, man. I wish we could say. I mean, there are certain schools that are very academic that don't really worry about, but winning. We say winning.
Hey, man.
Take care of everything, man. So,
right.
Hey, when we come back, man, we're going to jump into that Crush Rundown. So stay with us. It's the Crush.
Yep.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Great leaders aren't born. They're made. And not just anywhere. They're made in special places by special qualified trainers in places like the Academy of Creative Coaching. The Academy of Creative Coaching is an international certification program with courses in health and wellness coaching, spiritual coaching, relationship coaching, executive coaching, life coaching, and cultural competency coaching. Courses are online, hybrid, or face-to-face. The Academy of Creative Coaching is empowering coaches to empower the world. Make a positive change in yourself and the world. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com.
We're going to the Crush Rundown, brought to you by Parish Capital. At Parish Capital, we can help you achieve your financial goals by providing high-quality advisory services and making smart investment decisions. Go to Parish Capital. That's PARRISH, capitalwitha.com for more information. She was trying to bring me in earlier, man.
I see her.
She point like this. I'm like, stop it.
Go.
Stop it. Hey, what you got, man?
Hey, man, so part of the Crush Rundown, so we were talking about decommitment season. So the NCAA is thinking about adding 2 early signing periods for football. One would take place in June, and the second would be in mid-December. If approved, this will happen in the 2017-2018 season. The goal of this is aimed at transparency in recruiting. With rapid decommitments, they're saying that's why they want to put this rule in place.
So
Signing the kids early will lock the kids in and will help the coaching staffs focus on other areas of recruiting. So they're trying to make it simple. They're saying they're trying to simplify it for the coaching staffs.
So we have 3 signing days, right?
Right.
I don't like that.
Well, the thing about it is, it's almost like basketball does it.
Okay.
So basketball has an early signing period, and then they have signing day.
Can you still decommit?
No.
So once you sign, you sign.
Once you sign, you sign. Whew. Now we took a poll earlier, and a couple of the guys chimed in, and they were like, "Well, it's going to lead to transfers. What if a coach gets fired, and I'm committed?" So again, this goes back to: are you committing to the school, or are you committing to the coach?
And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, just a few minutes ago, about National Signing Day. I would really push kids to not sign early. That's just me. I mean, because if you sign, it's a whole different process at that point. About you can't just decommit and do it again.
Sign, you done.
You sign that paper. It's a whole different logistic. Then I mean, I don't know, Mace. So they worry more about the coaches having problems now.
What they're trying to say, because recruit has become such a big business, such a big deal. If you're solid on this school, if your quarterback says he's going to Auburn, what's going to change between June and December and February? If that's where you want to go, sign the letter of intent.
I think about the kid that was in here. The only reason I say that because I could have swore our dude was in here was 110%.
I mean, he had to get on. He walked in with the get on.
110%.
I want to know what he did with the jacket.
And then National Signing Day, he go to a different school.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be if a kid signs early, he think he all good and something happens, like Rick get fired or somebody get fired, then what?
But think about like how much pressure wouldn't have been on him if you have early signing period.
I guess that go back and forth, man. I guess if it really depends on at that point in time. If you're that solid, I guess it'll help you out. Like you said, there'll be a lot of pressure off of you. You're going to
a lot of pressure off you. But understand this too: everything has to be in place.
Yeah,
you have to be qualified, clearinghouse, all this stuff to sign for the early signing period. And NCAA, I kind of see where you're trying to get a coach a little advantage, because think about this from a coaching perspective. The coach, I got that kid signed, so I don't have to worry about these kids. Mm-hmm. Now I can focus on. I can see what positions I've signed. Now I can go look at the other side and like, so I do need a linebacker. So now we can focus all our recruiting attention on those areas of need.
I got the I get what they're trying to go with it, trying to say, hey man, no, it's good for the program, blah blah blah. It's good for coaches, because it'll be good, but I just see something, once you sign that paper, you sign that paper.
But if you solid on the school,
yeah, I mean if you're really solid, but like I say, I just like choice. You know what I'm saying? If something might happen with the school, they might do something I might not like. I might have a change of heart, but
and I think that's one of the questions that the NCAA will have to answer. Like, so what happens if, say, I sign to this school and Coach Les Miles gets fired?
Yeah.
Can I get out of my letter of
what's the process?
Letter of intent. I need to know.
Because at that point in time, or something happens at the school that might be like Penn State. It might happen. You might
it might be a Sandusky.
Yeah, you may. Hey man, I don't want to go to Penn State now. All that problem they got over there. What I got to do to get out of this? You know what I'm saying? Those are things I just think about, man. But like you say though, it could be good for a kid who's solid. I ain't going nowhere. I'm good. I just want to enjoy my school. I want to sign this letter of intent, go about my business. But I don't know, man. I don't know. So what is your overall opinion of it?
Well, first I'm going to give you Coach Hackman's overall opinion. He said he's in agreement. He said, but it lead to more transfer, but it will make it easier for coaches. The only problem he sees, you will have more players getting screwed over by the big schools because more coaches will be offering more kids than they have scholarships.
Yeah.
And Hack, that's strong.
That's another side of it.
That's strong. That's another side.
Yeah, I mean,
because the way they had the rule set up, you still gonna have your 25 scholarships.
Exactly.
But it's just if you decide to sign 10 in December, with 10 in June, another 10 in December, then so you're only gonna have 5 more for February. So it's still gonna be the 25 limit.
Yeah.
But like, can you lock down with Mark Richt? Still keep a job if he could have locked down Jacob Eason. Well, clearly Jacob Eason would come to Georgia. Jacob Eason was committed to Georgia.
He was a Georgia dude,
and not Mark Richt.
Yeah,
and so that is the kind of the question I see.
Yeah, I mean, I also look at it like to piggyback what Hackney was talking about, coaches jumping on him quick. Coach Saban could probably have his 25 by December.
Right.
He would be done by December.
But the thing with this, so say Saban did get his 25. If I'm Arkansas or I'm LSU or I'm a competing school, I don't have to worry about Saban being on the recruit. I don't have to fight with Saban for another kid.
I want to do with that.
He done.
Yeah, they might be trying to slide. Hey man, you take that gray shirt though and hang out with us for a little bit. We promise you'll be playing next year.
But again, this is for those elite kids. Every kid not gonna go through this.
But I wonder if this happens, will the kids get more pressure from these schools and recruiting services to sign early?
Without a doubt.
So now the kid get more pressure now. Like, hey man, you can sign now. What you waiting on?
But this where you will find out. Is he really committed to? Is he ready to sign on this dotted line today?
But and I agree with you. But I'm just thinking of it like if I'm a kid and I'm like, man, I really want to go to Georgia, but I would have. But if I got Kirby coming and let's say I'm signed with some this or I got these schools and they start saying, man, you need to go ahead and just sign, man. Go ahead and sign. Would that be more pressure on the kid? Now you're looking at the kid who might be thinking he's sure because you're 16, 17, you don't really know.
But this goes back to how involved the parents have to be in this process.
You have to really be involved. And
you need to be involved in this process anyway.
But that worried me about some of our kids because some of these kids don't have the strongest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, so here comes the role of the coach.
You hope. And to me, that when the high school coaches really got to step in.
Yeah.
You got to be like, kid, are you sure you want to sign now? It's only June.
Well, think about this. The NCAA probably gonna pass this.
Oh yeah, it's done.
Because I mean, you think every day it's another
like a Nick Saban thing too.
Every day it's another decommitment.
That's like a Nick Saban type thing too.
It does. And just think about this. Once December and the state championships are over, before these All-Star games, dude, it's gonna get even crazier.
Yeah,
it's gonna get crazier.
This sound like with some coaches, some of the big ones, top five conferences.
Power 5. This is a Power 5 thing.
Yeah, I'm tired of waiting on this kid. Can I get this taken care of and move on and do something else with my life? And they was like, we'll write it up. See, we'll say it's under consideration. But you're right. I think it's gonna be a foregone conclusion that this is gonna be the thing. I don't know if they do two though.
Yeah, they gonna do too.
You think they gonna do June and December?
That's what they're proposing right now. And the coaching staffs, they with it.
That'd be interesting. Two of them.
They.
So I can't be going into my senior year already signed with Georgia before I even play it down in my high school senior year. Wow. Very interesting.
Very interesting. And but to me, it locks a kid in. Say a kid gets injured. It locks you in. You got to honor my letter of intent, at least for that year.
Yeah, and that helps the kid out on that end.
That helps the kid on that end.
Yeah, very interesting though.
I think it's gonna happen.
I don't think it's a.
The NCAA wouldn't throw it out.
If they slide some stuff out there, they just want to see what the response is gonna be.
They most coaches they love the idea. They've been pushing for this a couple of years ago.
Yeah, when the NCAA leak stuff like this or say something like that, this is what it is. Let me just see what the public response is going to be.
Let's see what they talking about.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, but I don't know. Hey, let's finish. Let's talk about this other side.
Yeah. Because it's one more piece of it I want to talk to you about.
I got to ask you a question on this about this
too.
Hey, man, we also probably introduce you to a new sponsor, so stay with us. It's The Crush.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, It helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda, that's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Vince Lombardi once said that it's hard to be aggressive when you're confused. Some of us think that taking our lives to the next level, both personally and professionally, is a confusing and complicated process. Guess what? It's not, and I can prove it. My book, Truisms, will show you how living your life by rules that are so self-evident and obvious, you'll say, I knew that. This powerful yet short, detailed bestseller is on sale right now, under $10. Go to michaelmcfadden.com. That's michaelmcfadden.com, and let Truisms help you to the next level.
Sensation Station Network.
The dream of the future brought to reality by
Sensation Station Network.
From Eastport to Buckhead, College Park to Bankhead, dopest sports talk show on the radio. You heard what I said. Mason.
Testing at this site in Marietta Monday through Friday. Lifeline is committed to educate the community on HIV to increase the public's awareness while decreasing the myth and stigma that's around the virus. I'm going to cut this up a little bit. For more information, please call us at 770-499-2422 or visit them at www.cobcsb.com. All right, man, so let's finish up this topic real quick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll let you go with that Jesus real quick. Man, tighten that up next week, though. But anyway, man, we're going to let that go. So go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So again, like I say, if this comes into play, the signing windows will be for 72 hours. It will begin on the final Wednesday in June, and then in mid-December.
Okay.
And the changes are going to begin in 2017, 2018.
Would you, as a coach, how do you feel about this?
I look at it two ways. Well, first of all, it's only going to be for the Division I schools.
Right.
This only rule is only for. I have a kid. If I'm consulting this kid, and hey man, what's your top 5? Mm-hmm. Who you solid on? Are you solid on? Do you truly want to go to this school? If they truly want to go to that school, I'm gonna say, man, go ahead and sign.
Yeah.
If you're solid, but this is again the conversation that has to be had with the parent. Also, like we all need to sit down and understand, okay, they have early signing period. We can lock our scholarship. If we're solid, we're going to lock into this school, and we're there.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. You're done.
And I think you have to have a real conversation with the kid.
You got to have a real conversation with the kid.
I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, even this is when you want to make sure, even if it's the coaching is saying, hey man, once you sign, and it has to be explained. Once you sign, this is what happens. You know what I'm saying? You're locked with this school, and to get out of this, you got to do A, B, C, D, and that's a lot of pressure and a lot of work to be doing trying to get out of a signing like that. So, like I said, it's going to happen. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. And if they are, because, they don't leak stuff out for it to be...
All right. And see, signing that piece of paper way more solid than any verbal you can ever give.
Yeah.
It's binding.
Yeah.
I done faxed it off. We good.
Yep.
Name across the big screen. Go on and send me my jogging suits and hats and all that stuff, and let me start flossing around the school building.
Yeah. So I think, man, I don't know. I might do some more research on that. That's gonna be interesting.
Because again, when you talk about verbal, until you sign that piece of paper, you really could. You could commit to about 3-4 schools, really.
Exactly.
And the thing, again, the college they hadn't stopped recruiting. Believe that. Just because they tell you, what your car gonna tell you, man? Yeah, man, you no more receive on my board.
Yeah.
But as soon as they hang up the phone with you,
yeah.
Buddy also number 1 on this board too.
He got a kid out there that he really looking forward to. Man.
Yeah. So it's this how the game goes. And I think a lot of times, again, parents who are not involved, they don't understand this process, man. Recruiting is a dirty game.
Yeah, man.
It's vicious.
Yeah. Hey, man, we about to go in, not right now, but we're winding this up. I think we both know what's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
I had to figure out how it works. It should be interesting to see how it goes after the next few years, how it works out for kids and all that. So, very interesting. And when we come back, man, we're going to have us a great interview.
Hey, man, the head Indian, baby,
of the McEachern Indians out here in Georgia. So, stay with us. It's The Crush.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I am an American soldier.
I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined. Physically and mentally tough. Trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong, and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Okay, so 5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
George, y'all need anything else?
Sensation Station Network.
Hey, man, we're going into that crushing interview brought to you by Orsi Software. The Orsi team is committed to providing full lifecycle support for developing, testing, and delivering market-driven products. Orsi's motto is when a customer engage one of us, they engage all of us. Go to Orsi.com for more information. Maceo, please introduce our guest, man.
Hey, man, coming to the microphone. Well, he's on the phone, everybody. The head McEachern Indian, man, runs the prettiest program in the state of Georgia, in my opinion, man. Coach Kyle Hockman to the microphone. What's up, Coach?
Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Hey, Coach, man, we're doing great, man. When you hear people say the prettiest program, what are your thoughts on that?
I probably would agree. We're very blessed in McEachern for sure. It's a great place, you know. But a lot of people will see the bricks and mortar and how cool there is, you know, and the jumbotrons and things like that. But it's more about the people, you know, and the leadership. Mr. Montgomery, our principal, is outstanding, and just a lot of really good people and good support, and the kids and the community. It's a blessing to be there, and I'm honored to be a part of it. And you know, we just try to give back and work hard and do right by these young men and keep winning some ball games.
Coach, you pretty much, like I say, one of the premier programs in the state of Georgia. Do you have to remind your kids sometimes that, listen, it's a privilege to be playing here for the McEachern Indians?
No question, we constantly are reminding them, a couple things that we do to make sure they're staying humble and realizing that they are blessed, and that we have we call it our pride groups, and every week a different group of kids, about 10 to 12, they do all the cleaning of the building. We don't have any custodial help in our buildings at McEachern, in our sports facilities, I should say. The teams have to keep them clean, and so they're scrubbing toilets, vacuuming, mopping, we're doing the whole thing. And then Friday nights, the coaches all do it. We do it after the game, and that's my job is to clean the toilets. So I know it's going to get cleaned really well at least once a week, but no, they do a good job. We just try to, just keep them humble, keep them reminded that they are blessed with some great facilities, and we got to take care of them. And then in the same way also in our team room, on the walls are all the pictures of all the players who've gone to college playing football. So every day they're sitting in a team meeting, and there is, 200 pictures plus, I haven't lost count, of all the guys from way back, and the ones that are there now. And saying all the blood, sweat, and tears that these guys have, made this program, and now it's your turn, and those kinds of things. So we're constantly trying to keep them aware, of the traditions and the blessings that they have. And, we get a few kids that have gone to other schools, when they move in, or some move away, and come back and say, hey, man, I didn't know how good McEachern was. I thought it's a blessing, and I've been in all kinds of schools. I've been in almost every kind of environment you can think of, from a, inner city school to a country school with 100 boys in it, and to a country club school, to just about every environment that you can think of, economically, socioeconomically, all different walks of life. I've had the pleasure of coaching and loved all of them, but I know how blessed I am for sure, and we keep working that for the kids.
Coach, you being one of the, let me ask you a couple of things real quick. Is being in McEachern, you one of the top programs in the state of Georgia, and you're nationally known. What are some of the things, because right now you're now 7A, one of the biggest conferences out there, biggest region, one of the biggest. Do you have any pressure year to year going out there and trying to keep the kids, with so much attention at the school, keep them focused and keep them understanding? Because right now you're 5-1, you're not doing too bad with what's going on. How do you keep the team focused and to understand? Because everybody knows McEachern. Everybody talks about McEachern College, as they call it, the pretty school. But how do you keep them focused to keep maintaining this level of winning that you do from year to year?
Well, obviously it takes good players to keep winning. So we got some good players, and they train hard. They work really hard. We have a really good strength program, a conditioning program, and agility and all that stuff. And then there are kids that are working extra as well. There is pressure, but it's more internal pressure, meaning from within a building, within our own locker room, of wanting to live up to the expectations of the traditions. There's obviously media and social media and different things like that where you get some, but we really we talk quite a bit about trying to turn that kind of stuff off.
Right.
Even though in this day and age, kids are going to, be on social media, but we really try to get them to, we got to read it, don't believe it, and just keep your head down and keep working. Because you're never as good as the hype is, or you're never as bad as the negative people say. You're always generally somewhere in the middle in there. Even if you're undefeated or in the state semis, you still got a lot of room for improvement. So, there is pressure, but again, probably no more pressure than just from within and from each kid and each person, each coach.
Okay.
There's nobody, no athletic director or principal looking over our shoulder, getting upset about us. And we haven't lost a whole lot of games over the years, so
right.
If we were 1-5, that's probably be feeling more.
Hey, Coach, man, we about to take a quick break. You mind staying with us through the break? Because we got some more questions about some recruiting as well when we come back. So, you okay? All right. So, stay with us, man. We'll be right back.
People are always looking to invest in a good opportunity. So what if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change, called Better Futures. With your investment, it helps students like me go to college. My name is Charles, and I'm your dividend.
Invest in better futures with UNCF. Visit uncf.org/invest. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, but a wonderful thing to invest in. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
I am an American soldier.
I'm a warrior and a member of a team.
I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values.
I will always place this first.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never accept defeat.
I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined.
I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and drills.
I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself.
I am an expert and I am a professional.
I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the
Enemies of the United States of America in close combat.
I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
There's strong and there's Army strong. See what it takes at GoArmy.com.
Hey, man, we're back doing our question interview with Coach Kyle Hockman of McEachern High School, the Indians. Hey, Coach, let me ask you a question real quick, and then I'll let my man come in with you. You have the duty of being a coach and a parent in this recruiting process. Your son is the quarterback for the team, and he's a very talented quarterback, that is. How have you been able to handle coach and father through this process with him?
It's been challenging. He's been blessed again, with some talent, and is a really good kid. But it's been ups and downs, whether it be in his maturity and where he's going, and then also in the recruiting process, or the social media and the rankings and the hype. I call it the hype machine. Just trying to manage that and keep humble and keep your eyes on the prize, as opposed to getting distracted by certain things or what someone says or tweets or whatever. Again, he was very fortunate early in his career getting to play, because our backup quit right before the season. Wow. He was a freshman, and then our starters, seniors, playing at Middle Tennessee State, was a heck of a player. Ty Clemens was hurt in game 10, so barely had to play, and did fairly well, and so kind of got on the map pretty early in his career, and that's a blessing, but it's also been challenging as well, because he's been around so long, and a lot of people know and are watching, and we keep constantly preaching about, being above reproach and how you're acting and what you're doing, and like, get cameras and stuff everywhere. You just, not news cameras, but camera phones and stuff. Somebody's doing something bad, somebody's going to find it.
They're going to see it,
yeah. But the recruiting process, he's been blessed because of the McEachern pipeline, so to speak, to colleges, where colleges are coming around very often, and wanting to look at our guys. So the exposure is very good. At our spring practices, it's like a college showcase every day. There's 10, 15, 20 college coaches every day that are watching practice. And so it's hard to get missed. And you again, blessed for sure, but challenging.
Coach, how do you feel about 7-on-7 has become such a big part of summer practice leading into the season? How do you feel about 7-on-7s, Coach?
I think it has its place, but with the problems that I see from it is that with the all-star 7-on-7s, meaning that it's not your school team, where kids start hanging out together and they want then they transfer schools and they kind of lose their loyalty to their community and their local schools, and I think I'm just not real comfortable with that idea. Do kids transfer? Do parents move? And that's been going on forever. I grew up in Cincinnati. Cincinnati Moeller was bringing in guys in the 80s, and that's not new. What is new is, like I said, these kind of all-star teams where kids kind of get to know each other pretty well. And they come over and play well, get the best 10 players to be on the same team, So I'm not a big fan of that. I think it kind of loses the high school traditional community support, traditional high school stuff, the small town feel of, you shut the town down and everybody goes to the game. And I think it loses some of that when you start. So, but as far as 7-on-7, the actual thing, I mean, it's good. You're throwing and catching. You're reacting to balls. You're playing coverage. If you're running football, it's that, or we're all in competition these days, so you're competing. Better than, as a football coach, it's better than out playing pickup basketball. I played pickup basketball all summer. I didn't play 7-on-7. I played pickup basketball.
Right.
So now the kids are at least throwing and catching footballs. That's a good thing. I mean, football is popular and it's part of the culture, and so there's positives of it too. I would just like to see the kids moving and recruiting part of it within the high school, not recruiting to college, but that part of it disappear. But other than that, I think there's a lot of positives.
Coach, I mean, right now, Coach, like I said, you're currently, if I'm not mistaken, 5-1. You've had one tough loss against Grayson. How would you sum up your season so far this year? Are you satisfied? You still got things to do? How would you say your season going so far?
You mentioned the 7A part, and now everything, there's 7 classifications. All the classifications are smaller, and 7A is real small. So we didn't start playing our region. We just had our first region game last week, and so that kind of made for a long pre-season and pre-region. All of a sudden, you're playing a scrimmage and 5 games that don't really have any playoff ramifications. So it's been a little strange, but we're playing well at times. Our defense has been really strong, but we haven't faced the really juggernaut offense yet. And been tested with a great offense. North Cobb's offense was solid, and had some weapons, and we handled that pretty well.
Yeah.
Grayson has weapons, but they're kind of half. They're running 2 different offenses or whatever. They're trying to figure that out. But our defense has been playing great, and offensively, we've had a few injuries and shuffling some guys around offensive line, and had some great games, and then had some games where we were struggling and then still were able to pull them out. But we think there's a lot of room for improvement. We've been really talking about what it takes to be a champion, and it's those little details, the really hard things, the sacrifices the kids have to make to be a champion, and it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for an adult to do it, much less a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid. So, we just working the details and really, getting to bed on time, eating right, studying, making sure you got good grades so you don't have to miss practice because you got to go to tutoring or stuff like that. Just staying really diligent, and so I think we got room for improvement. Our kicking game has been strong. I think we got a chance if we can continue to improve. And a lot of teams stop. Mid-season, they're done. Whatever they are, they are.
Yeah.
And I've had some teams that have leveled out too. But I think this team has a lot more room. And if we can, push them and we can get there and they can continue to buy in, then I think we got a shot to run it and see what happens. But, playoffs, 5 games, to get a 5-game run, you got to have some luck. You got to have some good draw. It's like the NCAA tournament kind of. March Madness, where you got to kind of have a little bit of, you got to have a good team, but you got to have some luck along the way as well. So we'll see where it is, and we're going to keep putting ourselves in that position, and we believe that we can get it done, and so we're excited.
Well, Coach, man, we are so happy that you joined us today. We're going to make sure we come and see some of your games this year and want to meet you in person. And I know it's a long way from your house to our Buckhead, but when off season, we would love to have you in studio as well. So
let's do it.
Hey, man.
Appreciate it, Coach.
We thank you so much, Coach, man. We'll talk to you later. Hey, man, we come back. We got more recruiting topics. Stay with us.
Adopt US Kids presents multiple choice parenting.
You accidentally cut your daughter's bangs unevenly. Do you A, line things up a centimeter from her hairline?
Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
No, sweatbands are so hot right now. Everyone's wearing them. Like that basketball player and that other basketball player.
B, get spiritual.
Mom, where did all the mirrors go?
A reflection could never capture our true selves.
Huh?
Beauty is within.
C, look on the bright side.
Less time blow drying, more time texting.
Or D, show empathy.
Mom, you really don't have
Ta-da! Twinsies!
I kinda love it. As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
What's up, sis?
Nothing. Just sitting here reading about HIV in Atlanta and its surrounding areas. Did you know we're number 8 in the nation?
I know.
You need to get tested.
Nah, I don't get down like that. I'm good.
But you are a ladies' man. You don't know who they're with when they're not with you.
If I need to get tested, so do you.
No, I don't. I'm married.
True, but you don't know who he's with when he's not with you.
Oh, you got jokes. He's not like that.
Fact is, no one really knows what their partner is doing or who their partner is with when they're away.
Well, I'll get tested if you get tested.
Cool. Where can we go?
This article I'm reading says the Lifeline Project of CSB does free HIV testing. Let's go there.
Lifeline Project, here we come.
The Lifeline Project is a SAMHSA grant. For more information on free testing, please call 770-499-2422 or visit us on the web at www.cobcsb.com.
Hey, we're back. Shout out to Coach Hockman, McEachern High School. Appreciate that, Coach, man. Look, man, Coach them got a shot, man. They get the right draw.
Yeah.
Coach them got a shot.
Yeah, I was going to say that. He beat my daughter's school last week, 17-10 over North Cobb. But, yeah, they just now, like you say, it's so different now since 7A ain't that really... It's really small.
Yeah.
They played a lot of non-region games first before they got into the region, so
yeah,
it's about to get crunk for them.
Yeah, they had a preseason.
I think McEachern, they went with 14. They went pretty far last year.
Yeah, they was in the semi. They was quarters.
Yeah, they got to the quarters.
Quarters.
I think they got a shot to do with this shot
again.
Real interesting.
Yeah. So Glaze, we kind of touched on this last night, so we're gonna kind of get into it today. Man, these stars by these kids' names, man. You know. Don't believe the hype, everybody. You still have to put in the work to become an exceptional college athlete and to extend to the next level. So, right here,
give it to them again.
So in 2011, y'all. So we kind of went back and started looking at kids whose eligibility up, who were 5-star kids. So we just gonna start with in 2011, the top 10 5-star quarterbacks. From the 2011 class, Christian LeMay was the top high school quarterback in 2011 who committed to UGA.
Yep.
He ended up transferring from UGA. Max Whitlick is number 2. He went to USC. We don't know what became of his career. Number 3, Jacoby Brissett, who's started out at Florida, transferred to NC State, and now he was a 6-7 round draft pick,
something like that,
for the New England Patriots. Cody Kessler, USC. He was a 5-star kid. I don't think he was drafted, or he may have been drafted, but he's with the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
Everett Golston, who went to Notre Dame, transferred to Florida State.
Sure did.
Is not in the NFL.
Nope.
Number 6 was David Ash, another 5-star kid, big arm kid. Went to Texas. Yep. Nowhere to be heard of right now. Brandon Allen went to Arkansas. Did a lot of handing off.
Yeah, he was after that.
His brother is a better thrower. His brother is the quarterback now.
Yeah.
Brother was a better thrower, but he's holding the clipboard somewhere. I think he's on practice squad somewhere. Kevin Hogan, Stanford.
Yep.
Another 5-star kid. Played behind Andrew Luck.
They thought it was going to be the transition, him going straight to Luck, from Luck to Hogan, and didn't work out.
Didn't quite work out that way. Number 9 was Kyle Bowen out at Cal University.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything. He got beat out by a guy named Jared Goff, who was the number 1 overall draft pick. And number 10 is Cardale Jones, who went to 12 gauge, went to Ohio State, won that championship, had a 3-year stretch that was unbelievable. And now he's in the NFL. So these 10 kids were the 5-star recruits in 2011. Only 3 of these kids made the NFL.
And probably only 3 to 5 made a difference in college.
Right. And you got to think about it, these guys are not stars.
Yeah.
So that's the crazy part about the process.
And that's if we talk about it from a star perspective, blah, blah, blah. You're expecting them, if you're a 5-star anything,
right,
that means that you're good enough to not only be a starter in college, but to make a difference on that squad. For them to put that many stars by your name, meaning that once you step foot on campus and on that field, you're going to be somebody to reckon with. You can tell by that 10 right there that all that pressure get to you. You get that 5-star, you get all that recruiting. It's not guaranteed that you will make a difference on that field, because guess what? You still got to play the game.
It's the craziest thing, because just because they add these stars by your name, that's just only the process. And what people don't understand, this just means these 10 kids were able to get exposure. Their parents were able to send them to the camps, to this and that gives you these stars.
Yeah, you were an exceptional high school athlete. That doesn't mean you're going to be a great, and it really doesn't translate going to the pros. It doesn't. You need to stay one step at a time with that, because you're going to go 5-star, you're going to the college, and trust me, the players that you playing against know you a 5-star when you get to college. They're going to be like, oh, you were the 5-star kid everybody was talking about. Okay.
Right.
About to give you this business real quick.
Right.
So,
and this was funny. In that same class, when we talk about quarterback, wide receivers, it was a kid named George Farmer. He was the top recruit in 2011 at wide receiver. Went to USC, hadn't heard of him.
Yeah.
Guess who was number 2?
Who?
Jarvis Landry. Went to LSU.
Yep.
He's at Miami. Still won the 1st round pick.
Yeah.
Put the work in. Jarvis Landry was a better recruit than Odell Beckham. Who's the better pro?
Yep.
Okay. Number 3 on that list was Sammy Watkins, who went to Clemson.
Yep.
Great career at Clemson. Not doing so good in NFL.
Yeah.
They're having talks that
he might be done.
He might be done. Number 4 in that class, a young man by the name of Trey. Can't even pronounce his last name, but he went to Oklahoma. Hadn't made any noise.
Yeah.
Hadn't made any noise. Number 5 on this list, a kid named Sharon Peake, who went to Clemson.
Never heard of him.
Couldn't touch the field.
Not with Watkins them there.
Watkins, people got to think, DeAndre Watkins was also on that Clemson football team. Sammy Watkins was the guy, but who's the better pro now?
Yeah.
These stars, and we're doing this to get y'all to understand that these stars don't mean anything. This somebody who went to a camp, like I say, some of you guys are able to go to XYZ, whatever camp. Your parents can send you to whatever camp. Doesn't guarantee you success in college and in the NFL.
And I think what people, and that kind of builds into, because we always get excited, ooh, this coach got this top recruiting class because he got all these 5-star players. But as y'all are hearing, some of these 5 stars don't pan out in college.
They don't pan out.
So you get all these 5 stars. You got 4 or 5 5-star kids. You get to be the top recruit class, and only 1 5-star actually makes that difference. You really ain't got a great recruiting class. You got a good player.
This was funny about this list. Kelvin Benjamin is the number 17 receiver.
Wow.
Think about this. They were saying it was 16 receivers better than Kelvin Benjamin in 2011.
Yeah.
2 spots from him at number 19 is Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham was a 4-star kid.
Yeah.
They were saying it was 18 other receivers better than Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to get y'all to see is these rankings don't mean anything.
Yeah, I think once you get to it, I mean, everybody can see good talent. We can go to schools and we say, "Man, that's a baller right there."
Right.
He's a baller right there. And you can throw some stars by him. The kid still got to perform. And, you know, certain kids get to certain programs and it just doesn't work out for them like that. And, you know, I just sometimes, like I always tell everybody, I always go to the story. And the kid, one of my favorite kids that I ever coached was Brian Randolph. He went to Tennessee. He was a 3-star. He was a Gatorade All-American. He was high school player of the year for his school, but he only got 3 stars by his name because they said he might have been too slow or something. 5-year starter, played the most games ever at Tennessee.
More games than Peyton Manning.
Ever at Tennessee. Freshman of the year, all that stuff. It just, once you get to the school, you got to play.
You got to play.
And then he didn't get no love in the NFL because of the injuries and all, but he probably was going to make that team.
He's going to make that team, yeah.
So you got to play. Once you get to the game, man, it's... Yes, you want to get some of the top players in the country, and going back to the size chart, that matters. That matters, and all that. But just because you got a whole bunch of 5-star coming to your school, it doesn't always work out for you.
Yeah. Number 44 on this wide receiver list is a guy who is ripping up the NFL, Sammy Coates.
Yeah.
Sammy Coates was a 3-star kid.
Yeah.
Coming out of high school, he was number 44 on this list. They say it was 43 other receivers better than him. So don't fall in love with that star next to you. Now, like I said, Christian LeMay was the top quarterback in the country in 2011. And if you are a Georgia guy, if you follow football, Christian LeMay hit campus and everybody was like, "Oh, we got the guy." He didn't even hang around.
And that's like the position that, to me, they get wrong the most.
They get it wrong. They get it wrong the most.
Because you would think, oh, man, I got this 5-star quarterback coming here. The game about to be changed. And if you get that wrong, out of all the positions, if you get quarterback wrong on any level,
you're done.
Your program will not do well.
You're done. Dude, number 50 on this list at wide receiver. And again, another kid who is ripping up the NFL, but his height, weight didn't match up. Brandon Cooks.
He about 5'8", 5'9".
49 guys they said were better than Brandon Cook. And he in the NFL.
Yeah.
Had a great career at Oregon State.
Yeah, just got to get in there, man.
You just have to get in there. But we brought this up because you hear so much about the stars. I gotta get this. I gotta get this 5th star. I gotta get this 4th star. What does it really mean?
Yeah. I mean,
what does it really mean?
And I'm sure a lot of coaches will be glad that certain players didn't get the stars because then a lot of kids might not be wanted. But you can tell your talent out there, man. It doesn't hurt to have, you go out there and get you a couple of 4 or 5 starters, but you ain't guaranteed to have stars. And like I say, if you get 5 stars by your name, you mean you're gonna come in and make the program better.
You're supposed to.
That's your goal if you get the 5-star.
A 5-star kid is supposed to be a game changer in a program.
Yeah.
That's why you bring the 5-star kid and he's supposed to be a game changer. Day one when you come in, you're supposed to just be different.
Yeah.
You're just supposed to be different.
And if you ain't different, you will be called out. Oh, he was a 5-star?
He was a 5-star. It's more 5-star failures than 5-star success stories. So be careful about walking around talking about the stars you got in your name because you still got to perform.
Boy,
you have to perform.
That's the
star don't mean nothing if you're not performing.
That's the end of the day right there. If you ain't, then that's like I say, everybody know who the 5 stars is.
Yeah.
Well, if you playing against those 5 stars, okay. I'm gonna show you 5 stars. Hey man, we'll be right back.
This is Corey Jarvis, head football coach at Mays High School. When I listen to sports radio, I listen to ssnatl.com.
Callender's knows that you may not have time to roll out dough for a perfectly flaky crust that's made from scratch, or enough time to mix vegetables with all white meat chicken in a homemade gravy. She knows you may not have a moment to crimp the edges of your favorite chicken pot pie, but Marie Callender's does. And when she's done, all you need to do is find time to grab someone special, sit down, and savor. Marie Callender's, it's time to save.
Vince Lombardi once said that it's hard to be aggressive when you're confused. Some of us think that taking our lives to the next level, both personally and professionally, is a confusing and complicated process. Guess what? It's not, and I can prove it. My book, Truisms, will show you how living your life by rules that are so self-evident and obvious, you'll say, I knew that. This powerful yet short, detailed bestseller is on sale right now, under $10. Go to michaelmcfadden.com. That's michaelmcfadden.com. And let Truisms help you to the next level.
This is what legends are made of. This is what legends are made of.
As long as I see that fire in your eyes, I know we still good.
I do it off of that love.
We built this family, and this family's strong.
Empire on Fox.
Great leaders aren't born, they're made. And not just anywhere. They're made in special places by special qualified trainers in places like the Academy of Creative Coaching. The Academy of Creative Coaching is an international certification program with courses in health and wellness coaching, spiritual coaching, relationship coaching, executive coaching, life coaching, and cultural competency coaching. Courses are online, hybrid, or face-to-face. The Academy of Creative Coaching is empowering coaches to empower the world. Make a positive change in yourself and the world. Go to academyofcreativecoaching.com.
And so a new American industry has been born.
Sensation Station Network.
Oh, 1, 2. Hey man, we're back, man. We're gonna finish up these
Turn my headphones up.
Yeah.
You're the sand, don't you?
Man, we still talking stars and why they really don't matter, because you still got to put the work in, man. Listen, the stats out there.
Let me ask you this before you keep going out.
Yes, sir.
You've coached stars. With kids with stars by the name.
Yeah.
How do they act on the field once they know they got those rankings like that?
I'm gonna say with the coaching staffs I've been on, the one thing we never did, we never treated a kid like based on his ranking. Matter of fact, those are the kids that you're harder on.
Yeah, you got to be.
Because you have to get them to understand, dude, that don't mean nothing. And the quicker you get them to understand it doesn't mean anything, it's just somebody sitting around writing because they don't really know what they're talking about, the quicker they kind of get back into focus. Now, I know one kid, I won't call his name, who he practiced like that. He showed up like he was the guy.
Right.
And it told on him.
Yeah.
During the season. And coming up on his recruiting, it became a situation where people kind of started backing off him like,
yeah,
I don't like your work ethic, but again, we try to keep carrying yourself like that, because I can show you better than I can tell you. Dude, do you know how many it is out here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not that great.
Yeah.
You're not.
Because, you get those kids who start reading a press clip and
Yeah.
they say, people know you. And if you read them, somebody else is reading them. And when you step on that field, we're going to try to test you, buddy.
Yeah, it's always, and see, you never know what those other guys are thinking. It's somebody who got you up on the board like, dude, I know I'm better than him.
Yeah.
And they are working, because see, they can't go to that camp. They didn't get invited to that camp you got invited to. They didn't get this letter. They not an Army All-American. They not this and that. You're that because you got the exposure that kid didn't.
Exactly.
But if that kid ever goes up against you, the adage is hard work beat talent when the talent don't work hard.
Yep.
That's what happens so many times when you see these kids. They come in with that entitlement.
Yeah, we used to be, man, in this 25, 26 years ago, but there were kids that we would know were still pretty high ranked. So what our coach would do is we had, like, let me tell you how old school it was, we had poster boards. And the best players on the team would have multiple stars around their name.
Yeah.
And you best believe during that game, we trying to take that kid out of
Right.
that game.
Right.
So if your work ethic wasn't good, we knew by halftime he ain't that good. He saw. He ain't that good.
Because at the end of the day, you have to understand, the people who will give you stars and give you rankings, they hadn't been around you. They've only seen you at a camp.
Yeah.
They hadn't sat down and like, let me watch his game film and let me see what he's doing.
Right.
You know, that's what they don't understand. Yeah. This is somebody who's sitting in, again, some of these guys probably sitting in their mama basement.
Yeah.
You know, or sitting out in the garage like, you know, okay, I'm going to go to this camp this weekend. Oh, this kid look good. Hey, man, the game is played.
On the field.
On the field with the pass on.
And you brought up with Coach about 7-on-7s, and a lot of those stars come from those 7-on-7 all-stars like he's talking about. I mean, the more and more is doing that now. I'm not a fan of them. If you tell me, like, when I go to a game on high school on Friday, they say, yo, that's the dude right there.
Yeah.
You best believe I'm going to check him out.
Yeah.
And I want to see what he's doing this up. And I don't want to see him when he's playing homecoming. I want to see when he got the rivalry game and the people are packed in the stands and is he the best player? Because I remember we went to the Corky Kale and we were like, oh, yeah, that's the dude. We were like, man, he didn't look that good. By halftime, we were like, okay, we see what we see. Okay.
Because again, certain kids, like I say, 7-on-7, a lot of kids don't do kids no justice. Because they're better the way the game is played in contact.
Yeah.
We've all seen that guy who lay out for the ball in 7-on-7, who go up in traffic in 7-on-7 to make that catch.
Yeah.
He not gonna make it, and he don't make that in the game.
Because he know what's gonna happen.
He know what's gonna happen, and he gonna have alligator arms when the lights on.
Yeah.
You know, when you know you're not gonna get hit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gonna go in there.
Catch everything.
Ain't nobody got no equipment on.
Yeah.
That stop being fooled by these stars. Everybody continue to work. Maintain your work ethic.
Yeah.
Stay in those books and understand that star, you got recognition today.
Yeah.
Will they remember you in 4 years?
Yeah. And coaches, any good college coach, they're gonna say, okay, he 5-star. Let me see the film. I still got to see what he did on the field. That makes them stars connect to his name. Because if your film work, if your huddle ain't as good as the rating you got, it's going to tell very soon on that, man. I don't know, man. I get the rating system because you still want to know who's good players, but that list alone, what you've been going through, tells us that it ain't always going to do well on that next level. So.
No, it doesn't add up all the time. It doesn't add up because, again, it's a 2-star, 3-star kid he's hungrier than you.
And you know, because when he stepped on that field, I was on there. What? Okay.
Yeah. And like, you know, when y'all in the same locker room, he looking at you like, man, he a 5-star? For real?
Oh, he getting all this pub.
Okay. Man, okay.
That's why you see, when you look at a game on Saturday, and these players that be going out there and playing, you be like, man, he wasn't one of that recruiting class.
Yeah, like,
who come from?
Where he come from?
Oh,
he outworked everybody.
He worked.
He outworked
everybody. Practices
everybody.
were better, and coach just didn't. Hey man, I got to keep this kid out there. That's why you see these walk-ons getting started. They be hungry. I'd rather have a kid that, like we say, hard work do what?
Hard work beat talent when the talent don't work hard.
Because I know a lot of kids who went to certain schools who were highly schooled, had to transfer because they were putting that work in.
We've coached a couple who, hey man, they went to said school.
Yeah.
Said school when they did that evaluation at the end of the year, and we have another said school who told us they're never coming back to recruit any of our kids because y'all sent us him.
Yeah, that's the best you got. Yeah,
y'all sent us him. Y'all say he was XYZ. Well, y'all did too, cause he ran fast, he jumped high.
Y'all was here every week. Y'all
signed him.
We had honest conversations with you,
but that's what ends up happening though.
Yeah,
they sit there and be like, bruh, we not put that school right there.
Yeah,
don't go back over there.
Yeah, and that's why you sometimes you have to sit down, like you said, the kid, hey man, don't believe that 5-star. Hey, you got to work hard, man, and you can make us look bad if you go out there and
you mess it up for everybody at the school.
Your boy won't go to that school next year, so. Hey man, when we come back, man, it's 9:50 already.
Yeah, man, it's time to almost wrap this puppy up.
We'll be going to the recap, so stay with us, Sister Crush.
Yep.
Hi,
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Hi, I'm Harold Dennis, and I'm running for the office of DeKalb County Sheriff. I believe that there is a brighter future for DeKalb County, and as your sheriff, I will take a tough stance against those who choose to violate our laws and remain actively involved in building a rapport with our youth, which will combat the increasingly violent crimes committed by their peers. This will increase the value of our community in which I was proudly born and raised, allow me the opportunity to continue my philosophy of public service and building a sound and responsive sheriff's office. Harold Dennis, vote for me November 8th for DeKalb County Sheriff. And let's take DeKalb back. I'm Harold Dennis, and I approve this message.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
This is Robert Hicks, ex-NFL football player and actor with The Blind Side, and you're with The Crush at ssnatl.com, Sensation Station Network.
We're going into that Crush recap brought to you by
Blunt Power.
With Blunt Power, 3 sprays last for days. You can find out more about
Blunt Power
at their Facebook page, Blunt Power, or their Twitter page at Blunt Power, or at their website, bluntpower.com. All right, man, so another great day. High school talk.
Powerful show, man. Powerful show, man.
Hey, man, we had a great interview with Coach Hockman.
Great guy.
When you're doing, McEachern is one of the premier programs in the state of Georgia.
Pretty.
You go to that campus, I always say you have to retell the kids to get back together, because the minute they see the campus, if you ain't never been to that campus before, you sit there like, hey, this McEachern High or McEachern College?
I like that big old Indian down there.
Yeah.
Big old Indian down there in the end zone.
But it was interesting to hear him talking about, I always wonder how it would be if you had your son, Maceo, and you was coaching and you're still trying to keep the level, man. That had to be pretty hard, especially if he's a talented kid.
Yeah.
Because he got to keep his head going, because you still coach at the end of the day.
Yeah, and his son, the quarterback.
So you got double duty with him, man. So
the scrutiny of that position, I mean, it's just, I meant to ask him about, like, just, they probably don't ride in the same car. Because I can only imagine them conversations.
Boy.
Especially when he was younger. Now, probably when they were younger.
Yeah.
But, because it had to be growing pains.
Yeah, because if he started them early. I remember when he started.
Yeah, he got the injuries, and he had to end up taking the field.
But yeah, it was probably, hey, mama, take me to school. That ain't right.
I ain't right with that. I'm good with that.
So he talking about, you missed this. And he look, and how do you, when you go out into your house, daddy gonna have film up.
Yeah.
You have to avoid him sometimes. Dad, I'm going outside with my boy, man. I ain't even have me up 12 o'clock at night watching my film. But anyway, man, what you got, Maceo, man?
Hey, man, so on Saturday, got a chance to cover Georgia Southern. And, Georgia State.
Boy, please don't be doing
Georgia State. They play Georgia Southern coming up.
They do play Georgia Southern.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Georgia State, they're part of the Sun Belt Conference.
Right.
So this is a good brand of football that's being played.
Yeah.
So the Sun Belt Conference, it consists of Troy, so Georgia Southern, Appalachian State, New Mexico State, Louisiana Lafayette, South Alabama, Texas State, Arkansas State, Idaho, Louisiana Monroe, and Georgia State.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the Sun Belt because, again, we need options.
Yeah.
We have to start, a lot of the kids, we say it all the time, you all who recruit you. Parents, start looking at some of these other conferences. Stop getting your mind, just, if you hadn't got that letter from Rick in Miami, or Coach Maya at Ohio State, you have to start taking the process in your own hand. And they're playing good football everywhere.
In that conference there, man, you see a lot of it. I'm not trying to push the pro part of it, but a lot of kids go to pro from this Sun Belt because it is very competitive, man. And if you're part of that conference, just Troy alone, man, and in Idaho and things like that, you're gonna travel, you're gonna play all over the country, and you're gonna get exposure wherever you go. That's almost 4 time zones right there with them schools you just mentioned.
Right.
So you're gonna get it. So these are if your kid isn't, everybody want to go D1. I'm telling you right now. I think are they D1 or
these are 1AA.
1AA.
Mm-hmm.
Or the FCS.
FCS. Yes.
There's nothing wrong with these schools. Georgia State is becoming a very good program. It's got a lot down there, and if you anywhere in Atlanta, Georgia State ain't in all of Atlanta besides Tech, right around the same spot.
And it's so funny. I was talking to one of my guys today, Coach Allen Williams. What's up, Coach Williams? We talk about this all the time. It's so many kids who it's okay to dream.
Yeah,
it's okay to dream, but that reality has to set in, and you have to understand. Hey, I'm not going to that school, but I do have enough talent to play somewhere. Because it's nothing worse than a college senior. High school senior, and to tell them, listen, you may never play football again. This it for you. Mm-hmm. Like that 10th game, especially if you're at school and you're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
When you turn this equipment in on Monday, this is the last time you will ever wear equipment. That's a harsh reality for a lot of these kids who don't understand that day is coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And it's hard. I thought I honestly tell everybody my little story is real quick is when I finished my 15th game because we won the state championship. My senior year, I thought I was doing football. I had no intentions of doing nothing else sports except for running track that spring. But after that, I was like, I'm done with sports. I'm going to Morris Brown on this little academic scholarship. Got to Atlanta, lost my freaking head from Lincoln County, and then I got another chance and got with Coach Greg, and he gave me a shot to come out there, But you know what I'm saying? And everybody's story ain't gonna be like that. But what we're saying is, if you got a dream, explore all the schools, man.
Explore all the options, because this is the thing. And if you do if you have those dreams of playing at that school, and your family have the resources to pay for you to go to said school, then by all means go. But understand the road that you're gonna climb is going to be hard.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
But everybody's path is different. And if you think you have the talent to play at that school, knock yourself out. They will take your money.
But the thing about that conference though is it's fun. It's a fun conference. You're going to hear more about it. You got
a lot of exposure. Appalachian State, they on TV tonight. These teams are on TV.
Yeah.
They're playing a good brand of football. You're getting to play the game and you're getting your education. I think again we missed that. You have the opportunity to go to school. Somebody's paying for your schooling.
And at App State, don't forget, Tennessee still sweating about that game.
Yeah, should have beat Tennessee.
They fumbled in the end zone, and Tennessee just happened to jump on it. Cause
Georgia State should have beat Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Had them on the ropes.
Think about that.
All of these schools are playing good football, everybody. Yeah. The purpose of us doing this show on Wednesday is to give you parents options, to get you guys to understand that, hey, man, it's over 700 schools giving financial aid for your talent.
Yeah.
So it's a fit for you somewhere.
700, and you think about what, 80 total a piece scholarship?
Yeah.
88, something like that.
Yeah.
So if you really want to play games, play this ball, be more worried about playing the actual game than worried about where you're going to play the game. Because if you really want to play, there's people out there that want you to play. So if you're putting in that hard work, you might not go to Georgia, but there's nothing wrong with Georgia Southern, Georgia State, Clark, all HBCUs and things like that. So, and I think we've done another week, man.
Hey, man, the process, man, recruiting 101, man. This is why we do it.
Hey, man, I hope she out there listening, but hope you and your wrist is doing better, Sky. Because 1 minute Shotty back here ain't stopped smiling yet today. Hey, man, thank you, Prime. Thank you, Leah. 1 minute. Shotty.
You call her Leah while she...
Oh, yeah, she behind the board.
She ain't on the board. She's sitting in the chair.
Yeah, she over there with the board in her hand.
She shouted.
Say 1 minute Shotty.
1 minute Shotty.
Thank you, Coach Kyle Hockman, for joining us today.
Coach. Thank you, Maceo.
Appreciate you, brother. Hey, man, we'll see y'all next week.
We're back on Monday.
We'll do it again.
Let's do it.
Peace.
Yep.
We go YouTube. They go 1 minute shouty back there.
Oh no, really? You gonna do it? I'm glad I'm being blocked.
No, we got enough for you. We got
Oh.
Hey, we'll see y'all Monday. Peace.
All right, so